Hi, YouTubies! It's me, Zachary Michael! Also, hi, hello, how are you doing? I hope you're doing so well today. Today, well, first of all, let me say, yesterday I did stream, but I yapped for like an hour and a half because I talked about Beyonce, my trip to see her, my trip home to see my nephews. I have twin nephews that graduated from high school this past weekend. And by the time I got done yapping, there was like 30 minutes left of what the normal stream would be, so I just kept yapping instead. So I didn't actually do a reaction yesterday, so that's why you didn't see a re-upload. But I'm back again now. I'm back again here to do a little reaction moment and call me Jody because I'm done. We are reacting to a YouTube channel called Jodie M Dunn. I also stole that funny thing from Colin Mockery in the chat, and he's the one who suggested this video. He found this, and this video is called "Preparing for My First Stockpile Sale of 2025: Tips and Tricks to Make a Successful Yard Sale." And it seems like the vibe is that this is her stockpile that she got from extreme couponing. She couponed so close to the sun that she has to sell it in a yard sale, sell all her things in a yard sale. I used to watch a couple extreme couponing channels. Primarily the one that I watch the most, and she hasn't made couponing content in so long, was Nicole Burgess. I think I talked about her recently in a couple reactions because we started watching 50 Shades of Mom again, and we've been watching a little bit of Vanessa again. I just want to say, I think couponing is, like, if companies give you the option to get some shit for free, I don't have any problem with that. Honestly, truly. I really don't. I am very intrigued by like having just so much stuff that like you have this level of a stockpile. I know like Nicole and some of the other extreme couponing channels I used to watch did sometimes like donate some of the things. So like get like there are like shelters and things that can probably use like unopened like shampoo and things like that. So I do think there's a world where like you can do good with extreme couponing. What is intriguing about this particular video is that apparently she's gonna have a yard sale for these things. I don't know. I don't. That's the basic premise of it. I obviously have not watched it yet. This again was suggested from Colin. I also am a big fan of like I think it's great if these couponing channels are also like teaching other people how to like get the coupons and get free stuff and things like that. Like I think that could be really helpful to a lot of people. So I'm just this is just about learning. It's just about understanding, finding out. Yeah. I will, since it's a new channel, read how she describes her channel because I like to do that when we watch new people. When I did it, I mainly learned about it on YouTube. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because there was a show on TLC called Extreme Couponing, and I've watched that show. I've watched quite a few episodes, and I don't feel like they did much in terms of like educating other people on how to do it. They really just tried to make it all about just like how extreme it could be, like them filling up like tons and tons of carts to get as much stuff as free as possible. Which I do think is also fascinating because like to some extent I'm also just like, are you like making this so super difficult for like the employees and stuff that work there? Some people in the chat saying, wasn't that show also faked? I don't know. I don't know. Girl, I don't know. I don't know. And then, there's probably something to say about like the hoarding of it all. There's probably something to say about like, do you really need to have all of that? Some of the stockpile stuff makes me think about like, in the past on our channel, we've watched like people who do prepping and stuff like that. And I think when you're like, you know, hoarding resources like that, I do sometimes have questions about those things and like where that comes from, and even if stuff is organized doesn't mean that it's not a hoard, you know? So lots of questions there. But anyways, Jodie M Dunn says, my passion is help you save money. My passion is help you save money and learn how to coupon. I share lots of deals on this channel. My hope is leave my video with a smile and more knowledge about couponing. Have we been help? My hope is leave. Sometimes, you know, like that is one way to, like, you know, when I was in grad school and I wrote a lot of papers, like sometimes when I was proofreading, I would make myself read what I typed out loud, and I would find that like it didn't make any sense, you know, but when you would just read it in your head, you're like, oh, this makes perfect sense. So just a tip. just a tip if you're ever in a place where you gotta you know, proofread. My hope is leave. Jamie, about your singing. I was doing a lot of singing before we started the recording for YouTube today. I'm so sorry. Maybe English isn't her native language. Also possible. I don't think it's hard to say. That's very possible. So no criticism. Like, I obviously understand everything that she meant. And like I said, like I myself have had grammar problems in the past. Just interesting when you read some things out loud. So anyways, this is what we're doing today. Also, Sarah Grant is somebody who's been in the YouTube comments for ages. Thanks for being here. She pointed out to me that like my captions, like the font on it was like darker for some reason. So thanks so much for pointing that out. If anybody else was struggling with the captions because the font was a weird color, she left a comment about it, and I was like, I didn't do anything, I don't think, to change the settings, but you can go change the settings of your closed captions. And apparently, like, I had the opacity of the font at like 25%, so I turned it up to 100%. So now it's like the clear white font on a black background, and hopefully that's easier for folks to read. So thanks so much for pointing that out. I really appreciate it. But if you all are ready to get to, could y'all could you all? Oh, the gray background makes it hard to read the chat on the re-upload sometimes, but I feel like that's a me problem. Well, feel free, folks, to let me know if, I mean, like, that's like a, I mean, that's not a hard change, but like that's like a, if it is a problem, I can potentially change that up as well. Anyways, if you're ready to get started, could you put 69s in the chat? I'd really appreciate it, divas. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, look at all the 69s. Y'all are so nice to me. Thank you. Oh my gosh, look at them. Y'all are ready. Y'all are really ready today. All right. This is also just like, outside of it clearly like being like a hoard stockpile situation type of deal, like also to some extent it's like kind of impressive. Like that's a shit ton of, also it looks, I feel like it's mostly like shampoo and body wash types of things. Like there's some Axe here, some Irish Spring, maybe some like some Dove products, a Pure Dial. I'm curious what all of these things are over here. They, maybe like Glade plugins or something. Anyways, let me shut the fuck up and let's get to.
Hello.
Hi.
OMG. Welcome back to my channel. So excited you're here.
Oh, it's just voiceover vibes. Because that was definitely not her on video talking. Wait, this is her house, not the store? Yeah, I assume this is her actual house. This is not a store that she's shopping at. This is her personal stockpile.
Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I appreciate you. It's Jodie Dunn, and I am not coming at you with a haul video today. We are down in my stockpile area, and I am preparing to have my first yard sale of 2025.
And also, like, are people really trying to go to a yard sale to buy these things? That's my other question.
I had a request to show how I prepare for it, so I thought I would film just a quick video and go through how I prepare. I will film a video tomorrow showing you what I'm selling, basically, and how things are going and all of that good stuff. But hopefully this will be helpful to any of you that maybe haven't had a yard sale yet, and I'll try to give you some other ideas of things that maybe don't work for me but work for others. So a little bit of a unique situation for me is I travel to another town that does a town-wide yard sale. I have friends that live there that invite me to come. I've gone for, I think this will be my 4th year. So the community kind of expects me to come now. I know a lot of them. It's really super fun.
They sell anything and everything at a yard sale. I mean, yes, like, I've gone to yard sales before. I don't know. Becca Brownie in the chat said, buy this 5-year-old bar of Dial for 5 cents. Well, I think that's the other part of it. I think part of me is like, how much are you selling this for? How much, like, are you trying to get out of this stuff? Because it's like, if you got all of this for free and now you're reselling it at, like, a markup or something, that feels kind of like, I mean, I guess it's fine. I don't know. I don't know. Must be cheap if they're expecting her there. Isn't that called a swap meet? How profitable can this be? Maybe we'll find out. I'm curious.
The drawback is I have to drive all of my product that I want to sell in the car. So I can only fit, obviously, so much stuff. And to be honest with you, I've done yard sales enough now that I know sometimes what sells in one yard sale will not sell in another yard sale. So I just kind of have to make a guess based on past information on what I should bring the most of. So I am packing up some body wash right now. And what I try to do is I put them in these...
She said, I know these motherfuckers that I'm going to go sell this stuff to are stinky. So I know they'll buy this.
Boxes. I'll go through the boxes in just a second. But I also usually will bring extra of certain things that have typically in the past sold good for me. Now, if you're having a yard sale at your house, then you just have to take it to the outside area, so that's a little bit easier. As far as advertising goes, when I do local yard sales, I find posting in local Facebook groups or even Facebook Marketplace. And I have an app called Nextdoor, which is like a neighborhood app.
Things I'm not trying to do is be on that Nextdoor. Things I don't want to do is be on the Nextdoor. Actually, honestly, the thing I miss about... I haven't had Facebook in a very long time, but the thing I miss the most about it, like, maybe I should get on Nextdoor, because the thing I loved about Facebook was being in the neighborhood group for the neighborhood in Chicago I live in. Because people are just funny. People are just so funny in those groups. They really are. They really are. I just think they're so ridiculous. The things that people are concerned about. And listen, maybe I should just let them be, just because my concerns are not the same as their concerns. But I do kind of live for the neighborhood gossip. That's what I tried to get on my trip to my hometown this past weekend. I was like, Mom, what's the gossip? What's happening in the neighborhood? But my mom was like, you know me, I'm not talking to nobody. You know I'm not in the community like that.
Posted in that, I think 2 years ago when I did a local yard sale. And that drove a decent amount of traffic to me, a little bit more than I would say Facebook posting. So I'm definitely going to be getting my steps in today, because every box has to get walked upstairs. But the number one thing I would recommend for everyone...
I'm obsessed with the cinematography. That was definitely necessary for us to see her process.
advertising that helped me the very most is posting signs.
Oh yeah, the video that she's doing the voiceover over is not muted, so you can in fact hear all of the things that she's doing. You really can.
I got big, like, metal
You calling me big?
sign stands, basically, from Ace Hardware. You could probably get them from Walmart as well. And I posted a big poster board. I taped like a poster board on it that was colorful just to kind of draw attention from the eye. And I would write on there, you know, yard sale, the time, the date.
I am kind of curious, is this like the stuff that is this the kind of stuff that people meant whenever they're like, how do you get ready for your stockpile yard sales? I guess I just kind of feel like they probably wanted to know more about, like, how do you organize your yard sales. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not actually personally trying to put together a yard sale for my couponing stockpile, to be honest. Right, Rauma, that's what I'm curious about. I'm curious about the markup. I'm curious about how she decides what she's gonna sell, how she decides what price to sell it at. I could figure out how to market these things, you know? I could figure out to go post on the Nextdoor app or the Facebook Marketplace, or like how to advertise. I don't need to. For me personally, like in my mind, I'm like that seems intuitive to me. What doesn't seem intuitive is how do I decide how much to sell this shit for, you know?
The girls made little cute signs that said like toothpaste, the laundry soap. So they kind of knew what they were getting. Those definitely, the signs, and I think I put 5 signs up on like main crossroads and in the yard. Though that definitely drove the most traffic, because sometimes, you know, the apps like Facebook or even Nextdoor, a lot of people are posting. So I would definitely recommend, if you can, you want to post a few days before your yard sale, maybe a day before your yard sale, and the day of. You want to post multiple times to make sure it gets seen.
I don't know.
And this is definitely going to differ per.
I think also maybe in my head, like, I used to, when I worked in colleges and stuff, have to like advertise for like campus events and stuff like that a lot. So maybe that's why it feels intuitive to me. Post feed on Nextdoor. I'll post feed on Maine. I'll post feed on Twitch. I'll post feed on Twitch, Willow. I used to only do that for 1,000 bits. Look at me now. Oh, how times are changing. How bad things can get, huh? PBJ Nathan in the chat says, I'm an extreme couponer and I've sold parts of my stockpile at flea markets, but with very little markups, like $1 all shampoos, 50 cents toothpaste, nothing ever expired, and when the sale was over, I donate the rest of the shelter if they accepted. But I've seen some couponers make their products $2 to $4, which is very expensive for things we get for free. Yeah, okay, I like that. I mean, I do think there's something to say of like, hey, I'll give you this really discounted stuff for, like, you know, like the work I put into getting these things for free and things like that or whatever. But here we are. Okay, in the field reporting. I know Nathan coming through with personal life experience.
Area, but for me, what usually sells out is body wash, hair care, deodorant.
Because they stinky.
Laundry soap. I do not sell paper products at all. If you do, those are bigger ticket items. You could make a lot of money, but I don't sell my paper products.
She seemed very particular about the paper products at all. But it sounds like she wants to keep the paper products for herself. Sounds like she's like, That's just for me and my family.
I keep those all for myself and my family. Now,
Not her actually saying that immediately after I unpaused her. Not her. This is one of those times where people are like, if you just didn't pause so much.
always get questions on pricing, and I'm just going to tell you
toenail alert
what works for me. This may not.
Wait, toenail alert. Jamie, where'd you see toenails? Toenail alert.
All for myself and...
Oh, no. Jamie's just referring to the time that I said toenail alert at the same time as American Lisa. That's all she's doing. There weren't toenails in the actual video. Toenail alert.
And my family. Now, I always get questions on pricing, and I'm just going to tell you what works for me. This may not work for you.
Okay.
And I often will get people that will comment about my pricing as if it's wrong. And I just want you to understand that I do not price my items based on what people on the internet think that I should price my items at.
She said, this ain't about you. Keep your comments to yourself. I'm not going to price my items some certain type of way because you think I should. This may not work for you and your family, but it works for me and mine. She said, I got some clear boundaries here, and you're going to respect them. Listen, I'm always fidgeting with something, and today it's a hair tie. I really got to start doing the fidget of the day on the TikTok, because it's always something new. It's not always something new. I try not to play with this one on... I need to move it somewhere away from my desk, because I do play with it on Twitch too much. What do you know about playing with it on Twitch? It makes too much noise, I think, for some people. So does the slug. I really don't touch the slug that often anymore. But, like, a hair tie, a chapstick, a measuring tape, a Sharpie. Who even buys those air fresheners anymore? Plum710 in the chat who said, I love those oh wait, no, never mind. I didn't read the full comment. I love those air fresheners, but I never buy them. I hope to find them at work. What do you know about touching the slug? The slug gives me shivers in the worst way. I hear ya. Except I don't, because it doesn't do that to me.
Here is how I figure it.
Let's go.
I look at what it sells for at Walmart, and I try to do around 50% off for the most part. But not all items are 50% off. My laundry usually isn't 50% off.
Okay.
But not only do I base it on that, I also base it on how much did I actually pay for the item. And this would probably be the first year that I haven't got everything totally for free. So in years past, everything that I earned from a yard sale was pure profit. Now I am not looking.
See, and then this is the other thing, though. If you're couponing this much stuff and you're not getting it all for free, then I don't understand. Then I don't really understand why you're doing it. To me, to have this much stuff and also pay for it, like, I feel like that kind of makes it a little bit of a different thing, you know? Do you feel me? Like, to have this much stuff and you actually paid real life money for some of it, which I do know that, like, extreme couponing is not necessarily about getting everything for, like, absolutely free. But I don't know. Woma says not really, though, because you have to buy newspapers to get coupons unless you're dumpster diving for them. Oh, that's also true. I did forget about that. A lot of these couponers do pay for the newspapers to get the coupons, so there is some kind of cost. You know, it's interesting that you bring up newspapers because my hometown. Again, I was at my hometown this past weekend for my nephew's graduation, and we drove past like the building that like the hometown newspaper used to be in, or is maybe still in. And I asked my mom if like it still existed, like if they still printed it, and she was like, I think they do, but I don't buy it. So I'm just like, a lot of people unfortunately like are no longer getting their news from physical print, like the newspaper. So there are Awuga says they're still only in newspapers. We don't got an app. There are apps actually. Like I know a lot of people use things like Fetch. Like I have the Fetch Rewards app. There's another app I know a lot of them use. I can't remember what it's called. It's the Sunday one that people seek out. That's the one with the coupons. Woma's our other couponing expert in the chat. Ibotta. I actually learned about Fetch and Ibotta from a lot of the like grocery haul moms. Like I think Christine from Frugal Fit Mom talks about those a lot, and maybe Jen Chapin too. Yeah. Yeah, we're divas. We're the learning channel over here. We're the learning channel. We're learning. Forget about the shit and pissing and farting channel. We're learning today. We're learning.
To make a killing off of having a yard sale. That might be some of your goals. I just want to get rid of product because I love couponing so much. I have so much excess product. I do donate. I give away to family and friends, and then we use some. But then I also do yard sales once or twice a year usually, and I just want to give the community a really good deal. I have decided that I am going to raise my prices on a couple of things, like my Dove body wash, Old Spice body wash. Last year, I think I sold them for $3 a bottle.
This is a mother. I think she is a mother. I think she's literally a mother. The thing that I think is interesting is she's like, I love couponing so much, that's why I have so much stuff. Like, it's literally, I think that's interesting that for a lot of people, couponing is simply a hobby and not necessarily like a means to an end, you know? Like, I think there are also folks who need things like coupons to be able to like afford stuff. And I think that's like a fascinating intersection. Like this woman seems well off enough that like she probably doesn't well, I don't know. I don't want to make assumptions. I don't want to make assumptions about about her life because I don't really know anything. I've watched 6 minutes of a video, but her saying that makes me think like she would be fine. She would be fine without couponing. And so I think I always find it interesting that like those like different sides of this activity, you know? This is all tax-free income too. Is it? I guess. I mean, I imagine if she made like a certain amount, she would probably legally be required to report it, but I'm guessing also a lot of it's all via like cash, so there's probably not a lot of record there of anything happening. Charging $3 for a body wash that you got for free is nuts. Listen, if people want to buy it, I guess that's their prerogative. I guess that's their prerogative. I do think it's interesting that she's talking about selling it for $3 after she just got done saying that for her friends and family, she'll give it away for free, that she'll donate it to actual like shelters and places like that for free. I do think that's interesting. And she probably is making money from the videos, Colin, I would imagine. She has like 50,000 subscribers and her videos this one from 4 days ago has like 9,000 views. So I assume she's making some kind of money on these videos. Technically, you can get in a deep dive about reselling with coupons. Technically, it is prohibited to resell products you used a coupon on to buy. Nathan, you gonna call the cops? Nathan, you gotta call the cops. and Megan with a good point. if you do put, well, this is a little bit of what I was saying earlier too, is like I get the idea of selling it for like the work you put into it. Like she put time and energy into like getting the coupons, organizing the coupons, going to the stores, getting the deals, whoever, whatever, you know. So I mean I can see all sides. I'm gonna sit on this fence. I'm gonna sit on this fence. I'm gonna sit on this fence and just say I can see it all. I can see it all. Low key, I would die if someone called the police about coupons. They would probably, yeah. I'm not actually advising anybody to call the police. Just for the record, that is not. That is. I think that's goofy. I was making a joke. I was just joshing.
This year I'm going to do...
Don't call the cops on people like that.
$4 a bottle or 2 for $7. So really, I'm only going to raise the price 50 cents. But because I'm...
$4 a bottle? How much is Dove body wash? She said that was for the Dove body wash. Dove body wash. How much... If I wanted to get some Dove body wash right now... Well, I guess it depends on what the brand, like what the bottle is, what type of body wash it is. Cause it's looking like I just found a Dove deep moisture body wash, 11 ounces at the CVS for $6. But then it looks like that same bottle at a Target for $8.49. I guess $4 might be a deal. She said she uses Walmart prices. True, I could go look that up on Walmart. I also find that interesting because, like, is she buying this from Walmart? I'm not really sure because I guess just in my head, Nicole Burgess always did her couponing at CVS and Walgreens because they have apps that also have coupons and stuff that you can use. But I pulled up the Walmart website. I'm not going to show it on screen because it, for whatever reason, has my zip code on the top left-hand corner, so we're not going to do all that. It's looking like, depending on the bottle... It's so weird, because, like, again, it matters what kind she's got and everything. It's kind of weird, because, like, it can range from, like... $5 to $7, $8, $10, but I assume the $10 ones are maybe like bigger bottles. I don't know. That's also maybe Chicago prices. It might be different with wherever she is. I ain't gonna lie, if I came across a random lady at a yard sale with 50 body washes, I'd assume she got it from a dumpster, and I'd live for that, honestly. Y'all know I'm obsessed with dumpster diving people as well. What state is she in? I mean, we're really doing a deep dive now, huh? I don't know if it says. Oh, look, she's gotten a Fetch rewards code, an Ibotta referral code, a Shopkick referral code, a Rakuten referral code. Oh, she's in Michigan. Want to contact me? Her P.O. box is in Michigan. So... that's the context. How do we get so many people from Michigan, so many people from Kentucky? How do we do this all the time over here?
Not getting everything quite for free now. That will help a little bit. And you also have to take into consideration the cost of living and the prices of the products in your area. I'm in Michigan.
Why does this keep happening? Why does this keep happening? She's really thought about it all, though. You know what? She's answering all the questions we have. She's answering all the questions that keep coming up.
If you're in Florida or Texas, your cost of living is way higher than mine. Your products are priced higher than mine. you're probably going to charge more than me. So you have to take all of those into consideration when you are doing a yard sale and make it to achieve your goals. If you're trying to charge the same price Walmart charges, you're probably not going to sell your stuff.
Well, right, because I'll just go to Walmart and get it.
But if you're giving some type of a discount...
Now, what's all this over here? Now, what's... Wait, no shade, Diva, but how's your stockpile so organized and then you got all of this over here? She said, look at my nice stockpile and look at this over here, Divas. Like, what? This ass content is wild. She really does have... It's an interesting angle she's chosen.
Then you very well could. So for 4 years now, I have been using these boxes from USPS, the post office. I went online to USPS.com and I ordered a set of large size priority boxes. They will send them to your house for totally free. And I just break them down after yard sales and retape them up. So they've lasted me for a few years now.
Wow.
I find them to be the perfect...
Wait, you really can get those things for free? I didn't even know that. That's like so good to know. Free box order too. Girl, we gotta support the not this pause. Speaking of ass content, yeah, because they expect you to use it to ship and pay money. You know what? She's taking advantage of the system. Diva knows how to get some shit for free, and I sort of respect that, to be honest. Now that we've learned she's from Michigan, I can't unhear her accent. Maybe it's because I live too close to Michigan, but I don't hear an accent.
Size to fit my products in, and I absolutely love them. I will probably always do my yard sales this way. Now, inevitably, every single year when I say where I get my boxes and what boxes I use, I will have somebody comment and say that they think it is absolutely horrible that I would order boxes that are made for shipping products.
She's talking to y'all in the chat. She's talking to y'all in the chat. Y'all in the chat saying, well, yeah, you're supposed to ship stuff in it. You're supposed to ship stuff in it and support the post office. She said, I'm not only ready to address everything that Zachary Marie has to say, I'm ready to address Zachary Marie's nasty ass chat. She said, I'm ready to address y'all's messy asses. Let's predict what else she'll answer for us. I know, right?
That I got for free from the post office and use them for my yard sale. And to that, I will say, there are a lot bigger problems in the world, and if this is the worst thing I ever do in my life, I think I'm doing better than most. So if you don't want to use them...
Well, Diva, you can't just write off your wrongs by being like, there's worse things. There's worse things in the world. That's not really like taking accountability for anything. Oh gosh, but listen, Diva, eat the rich or whatever. Do whatever you gotta do. Do whatever you gotta do.
If you feel it's wrong, then don't. I'm just simply sharing with you what I use. They work out.
Y'all keep talking about me pausing and it being a pause that's like on her ass. But the thing is that she just has her ass pointed at the camera. There's nothing that I'm doing here, Divas. She literally just has her ass pointed at the camera. I'm not doing anything. If I push pause, the ass will be there. Like, that's all there is to it. Yeah, but who put the camera there, Zachary? Her! She did! She put it there. There's a wall of razors? Oh, there sure is! There sure is. That whole wall is all razors. Fascinating. Yeah, Becca, I feel that you're supposed to steal from Walmart and Target, not the post office. The post office is struggling, is what I'll say. And like the next thing you know, the government is gonna take away like the public post office, and it's all gonna be privatized, and it's gonna suck. So like we do need to support the post office. I do agree.
Fantastic for me. I'm going to show you in a little bit, but I take an 8x10 sheet of
shampoo / conditioner, $2 each or 2 for $3.
I'm going to show you in a little bit, but I take an 8x10 sheet of plain paper and I cut it into 3 different pieces, and I will write what is in the box and what is the price in big letters.
Oh, wow.
Sharpie.
New hoard to look at. New hoard. This is all the laundry detergent and cleaning products. Oh my god. That is so much. We need to get Cindy in here to come turn on these lamps, though. We need Cindy to come in here and crescendo for Mother. But that is so much laundry detergent. That is wild. Now, I am kind of worried about just like maybe hoarding a little bit in general, because she does seem to just have a random assortment of junk all around it. I do think it's interesting she can keep her like couponing stockpile so organized, but nothing around it.
So that way, when I don't hardly ever get asked what my pricing is, because they can see it right on the box. Laundry products are the only thing that I don't put in a box. I usually just put those right on the table. Last year, my friend had like a big shelving unit for me, which worked out fantastic. So I'm crossing my fingers she has that for me, but everything else.
Y'all, she said she hardly gets asked, not asked. Y'all in the chat are so wild today. Y'all are so silly.
Goes in a box that I set on tables. At this particular yard sale I'm doing, I only take cash as payment. You have to know your community.
She's cheating the tax system. This is what Jamie was talking about earlier. She said, if I only take cash, ain't nobody got a record, you know? There's no record that I did all this. She's laundering money. That's not what money laundering is. That's not what money laundering is.
Local yard sale, I did accept Cash App and Venmo. But in this particular community, it is a bedroom community. It is not a high-tech community.
What does a bedroom community mean? What does that mean? What is...
Blah, my cream all wheat.
Not money laundering. It's tax evasion.
Jamie, thanks for the clarification and the 100 bits. We support women's rights and wrongs here. Absolutely. Absolutely. Should I look up what a bedroom community is? What is a bedroom community? A residential suburb, I don't know why I said that so weird. A residential suburb inhabited largely by people who commute to a nearby city for work. Oh, so like Naperville, Downers Grove, Lisle, if you're in the Chicagoland area. Feels like a spicy thing to Google, I know. But it turns out it's not that spicy at all. I guess, yeah, maybe that's the point. They only sleep there. They don't, like, work and live there. I don't know. Yeah, like, they just sleep there. I guess. But I don't know why that would mean that they only have cash. I don't know what that has to do with them only having cash.
I literally had nobody ask me if I took another form of payment other than cash. Everybody comes prepared with cash. Plus, it is a city-wide sale. So
It seems more like the vibes in general at whatever the citywide yard sale are. It's just that you come with cash. That's what it really feels like. I don't feel like that has anything to do with it being a bedroom city or whatever. I would imagine she wouldn't deny a Venmo sale.
people know they're going to be going out yard sailing. So you may want to accept different forms of payment. And I think that's totally fine as well. I think it was Saving with Kay had done a video on a yard sale, and she actually posted like the QR code for her Venmo or her Cash App or something. So it was super easy for people to know how to pay her. I did have a couple of boxes that I hadn't broke down that still had the signs intact, so I'm going to leave those in place if I didn't change the prices. But I am just kind of taping the sides of the box so they won't be flapping around, and then I'll put the sign on the front of it.
What do you know about flapping around? What do you know about flapping around? Flaps is a flaps, flapping, all fascinating words to me. All fascinating words to me. Meat flaps? Have y'all thought about the concept of meat flaps before? What about moist meat flaps? Moist, tender meat flaps. Just some words to think about altogether.
With how much an item.
Beef piss flaps. Yeah, isn't that somebody's name? Is it somebody's name here? Beef piss flaps. I can't remember. I feel like if they are, I haven't seen them in a minute. Beef piss flat 69. Are you here, Diva?
Is. Now, there are some people that find it useful to use a price gun and actually price every product. For me personally, that is a lot of work. I'm not going to do that. But if you
said, for me personally, not for me and my family. We don't do that. We don't do all that. That's too much.
Follow my couponing videos. You already know, like, math is my favorite. I have no issues at all with...
She's a math diva. Oh, she's a math diva. Love. Automatically love.
Knowing how much pricing is. Everything that is the same price goes in the same box. So if it's $3, it's in the same box. And I just can keep up with the numbers easily.
Sure.
But if you have somebody helping you, or math is not your love like it is mine, then you may want to consider pricing each item individually. I'll try to find a link for a price gun on Amazon and link it down in the description box.
Oh, that was
so
there.
I tore my 8x10 into 3 sections, and I write in big letters with a Sharpie what is in here and how much it costs. So this one is facial care, and they are $2 each. And
Divas, I'm sorry, but this part of the video is just like, this feels so intuitive to me. I don't understand why it needs to be a part of a video, but to each their own.
And I just tape my pricing sign right on the box. So like I said, I literally do not have people ask me how much an item is. It's very, very rare because they can see how much the item is.
Sure.
I won't fully pack my car up until Friday morning because I jam pack it. The whole trunk, the back seat, the front seat, everything is filled to the brim with everything I can fit in my car. And I have to take my girls to school tomorrow, so I'll have to wait until...
So she is a mother. That's mother. And more crescendoing right now.
Morning to pack the back seat and things, but usually my whole trunk is filled. I just put laundry products in there. And remember, I'm doing this Friday and Saturday, so I can restock anything that I still have available in my stockpile to sell if I sell out of something. And because I only accept cash at this yard sale, I did go to the bank and make sure. I think I got like $50 of ones and $60 in fives, and I got some tens. So make sure you have change. I have quite a bit more to pack up, so hopefully this gives you
like just look at all of these like plastic bags. Like, Tifa, what are we doing with all these plastic grocery bags? It's just wild. It's really stressing me out that, like, she clearly has some aspects of this so organized. Like, I really respect that. What I will say, Divas, is I'm not an organization girly. Like, it's just never been my strong suit. So, like, when I say all of this, it's coming from somebody who struggles to organize. For me, it's like the literal juxtaposition of the very, very, very organized, like, couponing stockpile, and then whatever this is. Like, that's what's so wild to me.
Some ideas and maybe was helpful in some way. I will be posting a video tomorrow. I will show you exactly what I'm selling and how I have everything priced tomorrow. Always make sure, I know it looks so messy over here because I have all these bags. I keep all of my bags. We do use some in the house for like our garbage cans, but...
This is her responding to me again, by the way. This is her responding to literally what I just said again. It does, now that she's putting them all like this, it does make sense to me that she would keep them to have them available for people who come and buy the stuff at the yard sale. That actually does make sense to me. It does look like a chaotic mess. But I appreciate that she responded to my concerns unknowingly.
All the bags I get from couponing, I keep them. Not last year, but the year before, I almost ran out.
Lucky 13. Gritty Goose.
Tay Marie 92, thanks so much for 13 months of subscribing. Appreciate it.
Bags. So I take a lot of bags with me as well, because people almost always buy enough products that they want a bag for them. So make sure you save your bags if you're going to have a yard sale. And I did tell you that everything except for my laundry is in boxes, which is untrue. I forgot. Do you see this little pink tote under my table here? I have a couple of feminine care products in it from last year's yard sale that didn't sell. I think I went through 2 totes of this. And I just leave them in a big tote like this. I put the sign on them. And then I have this on the ground. And I sell mine for $1, and I'm probably going to sell them for $1 this year. And it's just going to be products that I have way too many of, or products that we will never use or nobody I know uses. So I just want to get rid of them. So anything I really want to get rid of, I will definitely price super low just to be able to get rid of it. And I actually almost
Not the tampon tote.
forgot about it. So I did pull it out. I'm going to finish filling it and then take this upstairs. So again, I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed the video,
I mean, $1 for like a box of tampons, I assume is a really good deal. I assume that's a really good deal. If I saw a box of tampons at a yard sale, I would walk past, to be honest. I mean, I don't think I would probably go to a yard sale to get my toiletries to begin with, but extreme discount tampons at a yard sale is so sussy. Is it, here's my thing, is it any more sussy than like the shampoo, conditioner, body wash, laundry detergent? I mean, I also agree, donate it to a women's shelter, but I would say like donate probably most of these things to a shelter, you know? Like, I assume that shelters could use a lot of these things. I also, like, before you donate things anywhere, most places like shelters and things like that, food pantries, etc., like, have lists of things that they like accept or take or things like that. You guys think it's, wait, okay, Lisa says yes because you put the tampons in your vagina, and Invader Bean says, Zachary Marie, they go in you. So you're okay? Wait, so we do need to check this because you're okay with her just donating those to a women's shelter where people will use them, and you don't find that to be a problem because those things go inside of you, but it's a problem for her to sell them because they go inside of you. Anyways, shelters and things like that usually have like lists of things they need. So just double check and make sure that like they actually need those things. Because even if like tampons are something that they're like actively regularly looking for, perhaps maybe they just got like a huge supply of them or something from somewhere, and they just like don't need them and they don't have anywhere to store them. Just say it's always better to be safe. If you don't know, at my last job working in higher education, I used to run the like campus pantry. And so sometimes people would like bring in stuff that like we couldn't put in the pantry. And so I just know from experience that it's like always important to check and make sure that those things actually can be taken, accepted, etc. Because if not, somebody has to find something to do with those things. Anyways, tangent. But either way, I mean, like I said, in general, I probably wouldn't go to a yard sale to buy any of these things. It seems sus to find them at a yard sale. They don't go bad. I'd be wondering why they felt the need to sell them. I mean, I also feel like if I walked up to whatever table this lady's at, I would probably assume that she's like some kind of hoarder or something and just has a bunch of toiletries in general.
Give it a thumbs up. I will be posting again tomorrow. I'll show you my setup, my prices.
Oh, look at the cat.
And then go over with you how everything is going.
Look at the kitty.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, that cat
Have a
looks
great
so
day.
sweet.
Bye.
Oh, that cat looks so sweet and chonky. That cat looks so chonky and sweet. Honestly, divas, I've been getting, oh my god, wait. Sophia went to Dollywood. Oh, what an icon. Love Dollywood. Love Dollywood. I'm wearing my Dollywood hat. I have been just like warming up to cats lately. I'm still definitely allergic, but like my friends Anna and Diego have 2 cats, and one of them, Ziggy, he just loves me. He comes and sits on my lap, and I just have to like make sure I'm wearing pants. Like actually this has only been like a cold weather occurrence. We haven't experienced this in the summer yet when I wear shorts, so we'll have to see. Does Poe like cats? I'm not sure. I've taken him over to where Ziggy and Weasley are, to Anna and Diego's house, and like those 2 cats basically just try to stay away from him, and they also have like a 2-story house, so the cats usually just go upstairs and like don't come around. I recently tried to introduce Poe to another friend's cat, and I don't think Poe had a problem to begin with, but the cat hissed at him, and Poe was like not having it. Poe was like, I don't like that energy. So I think it's a little hit or miss. I think it probably depends on the cat's vibe more than Poe's vibe. I think he would just, in general, probably take the cat's lead on things. How did I get on that? I don't know. Do y'all feel like you learned something today? Do y'all feel like you learned a little bit about couponing? The couponing, like stockpiles and hoards and things like that, can get kind of wild, and it is very fascinating and interesting to me personally, for me and my family. We learned about tax evasion. Is that what we did today? Is that what happened? Was that the tea? Anyways, divas, thanks so much for watching, for hanging out. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Bye, YouTubies! Subscribe!